everyone, this is author Elizabeth Ann West, and this is just a short little video explaining more in detail what I mean by writing on WordPress. WordPress installed on a server, not wordpress.com, so that other authors can see what I'm talking about and see that basically for the price of a program like Scrivener, and there's nothing against Scrivener, please don't take that this way, but for the price of that, for a year, you get not only a great workspace to keep track of all of your writing, but you also get an author website plus integration to automatically be accruing subscribers and things like that. So real fast, this is if you sign up for go back to cPanel. If you purchase hosting from any of the major hosting people, HostGator. I like them because they're the cheapest in my opinion. But you know, there's other ones out there that are very similar. All of them have this like quick install button for WordPress, Drupal, all that kind of thing. So you just click on the quick install once you've purchased your domain and your hosting, and usually they'll link those together. It's usually pretty easy. I can just click WordPress or any of these other things, but I can click WordPress and continue. And just any of my domains that I own. So if I wanted to install a new one on elizabethannwest.com, I could. I installed where I'm working on my Jane Austen fan fiction, the novella that's on the bestseller list right now, The Trouble with Horses. I created what's called a subdomain. It's elizabethannwest.com / and then in here, Pemberley Possibilities. I did this on purpose because as I grow, and once I get some time, don't we all think that? elizabethannwest.com, that particular domain will be, you know, the hub for all of the communication about all of my books, whether it's the Pride and Prejudice fan fiction that I'm writing right now this year, but maybe next year it's going to be contemporary romance again, or maybe I start writing cozy mysteries. Either way, I want elizabethannwest.com to be a centralized place that people who have found out about me from wherever I was writing or whatever I was doing or whatever project it was, they can go there, find more information about the specific project or books that I'm writing that appeal to them without forcing them to go through like this one big massive blog that's got, you know, everything that I've ever written, because I do a lot of different things. So that's just a tidbit there. You just fill in the information. I always use a different name than don't put in admin here. That makes it really easy for somebody to hack your WordPress install. Pick a fun name for you, you know, book writer extraordinaire or something like that. And it'll automatically install it and give you a password and everything, and then you just use that password to log in the first time, and then you can change it. Okay, sorry, that's a lot of information. So once you install it, it's going to be pretty bare bones. It's just going to be a very basic WordPress site. And you can do things like you can change plugins. It's really important to have a WordPress.com, see right here, profile, so that you can install Jetpack, and that processes a lot of really cool stats and information. The other important one I would say is Google Analytics. Go ahead and sign up for Google Analytics. And once you sign up for Google Analytics, it gives you like a little token or whatever that you stick in there. This right here, the UA1589, that thing. If I stick that into the Google Analytics plugin for my WordPress, Google Analytics automatically collects information about the site. So you can see, this is when I started the Google Analytics. I forgot I hadn't set it up because the book actually came out July 4th. But you can see, you know, the first few days there really wasn't a whole lot going on. It was mainly me and my editor signing in, and maybe a few people that went from my Facebook. But as I've been posting more and more, it's just steadily been growing. This is actually a really big statistic right here that's important for advertising. It gets looked at for advertisers. And I can exclude my IP address. It doesn't include my time on the site. And your bounce rate is how many people come and then just immediately leave. So that's actually a pretty decent bounce rate for a blog. And then this is also a cool new number too, because it's, you know, it'll compare, if I want to compare 2 times, like if I want to compare yesterday to same day last week. Okay, so the 9th, and then come down here and do the 16th. Apply. I can actually compare and see that July 16th through July 9th, We're actually not doing as well because the book was, brand spanking new then. But, we've increased our session duration because there's more to read, and my bounce rate has gone down, which means I'm getting less new people, but the people who come on a regular basis, they're actually spending more time. Or maybe it's the other way around. I take that back. Because this is the 9th, and that's the 16th. Okay, so I went the wrong way. I want to compare the 16th to last week. Okay. There we go. That's right. Okay. Just kidding. So we're the opposite. Yesterday, last Wednesday, we did better than the previous Wednesday, the Wednesday before that week. We had 75% more people coming. Actually, 164% more people coming. We had much better page views, more new sessions, and that's going to just continue to go as the books go out. So, like I said, it's handy data because I can also just immediately see the demographics of who came. If I go age, it tells me. Gender, it'll tell me. If you enable it, I have not. I guess new analytics things have happened. If I go geography, language, I can see most people come from English. But, I've got some Great Britain people who came. And then all the different countries. Germany came. I've sold a couple of books in Germany, so that's great. Behavior. This is really cool. You can click on things to see, what people did. If you go to, I think it's site content. This is pretty cool. You can actually see where everybody went. Like, you can watch how many people came, what specific pages they were on, how long they spent on each page. So I can know if a winter wrong, how many people are spending on that. I did a state of the writing, for example, and, people spent about 2 minutes on that page. So there's a lot of information here that you can definitely use and play with. It can drive you batty. But Google Analytics is very important, I would say, for if you're writing on WordPress to just go ahead and set it up as a plugin. Another important plugin is this Organize Series, which we'll put right underneath here under Posts. It allows me to two things. First of all, it makes it easier for me to control different series that's going on with the posts, but also on the actual blog itself, if somebody starts off in a winter wrong 2, the plugin adds this right here so they can immediately skip to the very next part. And also at the very bottom, it has for the series navigation one before and one after. So it makes it very easy navigation for your readers if you write a bunch of different stories at one time like I do, for them to be able to navigate in the story that they're in and not have to go through a bunch of the blog posts that are just automatically arranged out by the time that they were written. You can also add a cover and all of that. This is editorial calendar. I haven't played with this as much, but I plan to soon because we just came up with our publication schedule. This actually has, this plugin will automatically post on paper or on the calendar and show me which posts I wrote when. So you can see right here, I started A Winter Wrong, Scene 1 on July 8th. We're now on July 17th and I've got 21,000 words on it. So I can actually track my writing automatically when I wrote what and to kind of keep an eye on my productivity. The other cool thing about this is I could actually schedule a post and tell myself, okay, this day I need to do Winter Wrong 9, because I know 7 and 8 aren't published right now. They've been going through the editorial process. And it's in draft status and 10 a.m. and save it. And I could even put a note here for those who like Scrivener. If I was talking about this as a scene, quick edit, I could put, beginning of the 12th night ball. So I have an idea of what I'm supposed to write when I get to that point. And you could just add and subtract and that kind of thing. You could make it as specific as you want. So you could actually map out a whole book or whatever this way. Let's see what else is cool. Other plugins I have that are cool. I had one that kept track of how much time I was spending, but I always stay logged in, so that didn't work out so well. So I got rid of that. This post admin word count. that's another big one. Oh, that editorial calendar I showed you is just WordPress editorial calendar. That's the plugin that you need. Post admin word count. This allows, when I go to all posts, this is so cool because before that I was using, before this I was using like spreadsheets and stuff and I was going bonkers. I categorize each one of my works in progresses with the working title. So a winter wrong, for example, I can click that category and now I only see the winter wrong and I can see my word counts right here in this column. So I can just add those up and see exactly how many, words I'm at roughly for a passage. I can also see, if I'm roughly writing about the same amount each scene or each chapter or however I'm breaking it up. This isn't actually chapterized. This is just writing sessions. I go back once I pull all the posts and put them in a Word document for publication, actually go through and kind of figure out where I want my chapter breaks. That's just a personal thing for me. It's up to you. Now it's time to show the editorial aspect of this and why it's so cool. If you go into a winter wrong 7, for example, this is still in draft status. I can see right down here when I was in it, when my editor was in it, and who did what. And because I have revisions turned on in my Jetpack, we'll get more to Jetpack in a minute. I don't even use all of Jetpack. There's a lot of stuff that WordPress now has that I don't even use yet. This is just what I'm using so far to see if you can make it work for you. I click this revisions browse, and this saves us so much time. If I go back to where this side is mine, the red side, and then the green side is hers. So I can immediately see, because I hate track changes in Word, it drives me up to bonkers. I have a notepad or a sticky note or whatever, and I just go where it's highlighted. Okay, the butler announced allowing, she added a comma. I agree with it. So moving on. It's already fixed. I don't have to approve it. I don't have to click on it, whatever. She changed proceeded to began. I probably will change it back because personally, and it's just a style thing, I like the sound of and quickly proceeded to pour another rather than quickly began to pour another. I like the alliteration over here. It's just a style thing. It's not anything wrong or right for either one. She added another comma. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about commas. If she puts a comma, I'm sure it's right. He almost wondered, and he wondered how. She just took out a word, so I'm fine with it. So this is how easy revisions are for this process for me. I wrote this side raw, and this side is what she has changed. And if I didn't, let's say she totally deleted the entire passage, I can restore a previous revision, and I don't have to lose my work. So that's where editing for us live has made such a great gains in my opinion. I hate getting Word documents back and forth with like a mountain of changes I have to make. It's just so much work. This is so much easier and breezier. I'm only spending 20 to 30 minutes when an edit comes in to review it or whatever, to agree with the changes or to change a few changes back. And then it's in its pretty much first draft rough state until we get the whole thing together and we're looking at it as a whole. This is just our process. Everybody's process is different. It's up to you how you want to use it. Okay, finally, the last bit that's really cool about this is as I'm publishing these things, and I'll go back. This is a whole different work in progress that doesn't have a cover right now. If you go into a winter wrong and say you're really liking it and you subscribe, my Jetpack in my site stats, and we're waiting. I have, down here is where it has subscriptions, and I can show that I have got 20 subscriptions to the blog right now. This means that these 20 people get in their email, every time I post something, it goes to their email. Whether I'm posting the book is out now, or here's the latest chapter, it all goes to their email. And I will admit that it's not as cool that I can't see, who's coming from their email to the site as easily. But, I don't really care that much about it because, this data is okay. It's not one of the best ways to look at it. It's not one of the best sources of data because it just goes with views, which is like page views. It doesn't go by, unique sessions or anything like that. But I can see, which posts are getting the most love. I can see, where people are coming to me from. Yesterday, for example, and this is pretty cool, people came to me from my author profile. If I open this link up, my author website through Author Central, I have my tweets signed up, but I also have my feeds set up so that my recent blog posts are here so that people can see and they're coming to me. I mean, it's only one person, but one person is one person. They came to my blog through that. And this is all automatic. It's also on Goodreads. It's also on the Author Central. I don't have to go update this stuff manually so that my focus is writing and engaging with my readership. I also have the share allowed on it. Or maybe I don't have that turned on this one. Okay, that's the next thing I'll do. I will turn on share so that at the bottom of each post it's easy for somebody to click and share it to Facebook and all of that. So there you go. You can see I really haven't done a whole bunch with this site. It's just been functional, but I still have work to do. And I always do that kind of work, a little bit at a time. I don't sit down for a week at it. You can't. You really need some content and stuff to have an idea of how you want it laid out and everything like that. The other cool thing about this site is, and this is the last thing I will mention, WordPress now, the newest WordPress installations are what's called 100% responsive, which means when I grab and drag this window and I make it smaller, the site itself is automatically going to adjust so that this is what it looks like on a smartphone. And somebody can click on the menu and get to home and about, and then they can get everything down here. So this is what it looks like on a phone. And if they click on a post to read it, it's still in great shape, mostly, for them to be able to read it. This, I can tell you from doing lots of website development, this is such a pain in the butt to try to do. Like most HTML editors and things like that, whether it's Dreamweaver or Muse, or some of those frameworks that you can use that are mainly JavaScript, you still have to do a lot of calculations to try to figure out how you want your content to look. And I could go into the PHP and actually modify some of the PHP and the cascading style sheets and modify how some of this content behaves when people minimize the window. But I haven't gone in and altered it at all. So that just goes to show you, like, from out of the box, how, for the most part, I would say it's pretty darn good for adjusting things for smaller screens. So that's all I have to say about writing on WordPress. And I still have posts that are like notes. Like when I was using Scrivener, I would save things from websites and things like that. I've got notes that are on research. If I go to my notes category and filter, I can see my notes, outlines. I must not have tagged research as something else. And then the other thing that you may have noticed too that I didn't talk about is the way April and I communicate that something is ready for one or either of us is we're using our tags before a post is actually published. So when you look at this and you see, oh, well, she already finished that. See, that's already changed. This said April earlier. It means April has gone in now and she has edited this and now it's for me. And then I go in and these I haven't taken out, but I did for 6. So for 6, I went ahead and I already reviewed those edits, and then I took the tag out. So eventually we might have a new tag that says ready, come up with new tags for like different statuses of different pieces, but we're just kind of keeping it simple. And the tag capability of WordPress makes it very easy to organize these pieces of writing because this is a database. I mean, that's what a WordPress is. It's just a database that's pretty with a pretty interface. So if you have any questions, you can reach me on Facebook or Twitter. On Twitter, I'm EAW Writes, or on Facebook, Elizabeth Ann West. And I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.